the key thing which we all fall into is, I want to think on my feet, and you don't want to do that until you really have not perfected, because it never gets perfect, but you've really absorbed and really understand your process. Once the process is really honed in, it's, the analogy I would throw in here is someone who's learning the guitar and is trying to play, some famous song, pick something. And they're just pulling the string and it's just ding, ding, ding. It's very contrived and painful and it sounds awful. That's trading at the beginning versus somebody who's been playing a guitar for 10 years and have played in front of crowds and concerts. All they need is like the first 3 notes of a song and they'll just go and play the whole thing out. They don't need sheet music. And you know what? Those guys can actually add their own thing. They can take a famous song, like a Santana song or something, and they can just add a few touches to it that makes it interesting. It makes it theirs, yet still aligns with their process. They're still holding the guitar the same. It's still the same guitar. It rests with them the same way. They're moving their fingers the same way, but they can, on the fly, jump from one song to the next and back and so on. And that's really what we all strive to be. And that's because they've sat there and they have gone through the process so many times that it's just become an extension, not of their mind, but of their arm. It becomes this muscle memory. Execution becomes a muscle memory. So how do you do that? Well, if you've ever taken lessons in music, you've probably lived through that horrible process of saying, okay, find C. Okay, play this under C. And then it's just like, it's very, it requires a lot of processing and effort. And if a lesson goes beyond 45 minutes, you're about to take your guitar and like smash it into bits because it's so frustrating. That's trading. That's the part where people quit. But it just takes a while. And so we focus on the process. Like if we focus on the sound that's being made, it's all wrong. It's all losers. It's not anything anybody would be proud of. But if we focus on just showing up and following, sitting the same way, holding the thing the same way, having our finger tips on the right strings and so on and so forth, and strumming the way we're supposed to be, then eventually you'll hit 1 or 2 notes that just come out perfect, and then it'll be 3 and 4 notes and 5 and 6, and then you'll go to not being able to get more than 1 and 2 and back and forth. But over time, what happens is it just starts to flow, and it's all based in the process. The teacher is not grading or rating your improvement based on how well you can play Santana's song. They're basing it on how well you're hitting each note, because they are focused on process. The results come later. The full sheet of notes being played comes later on. As you can tell, I've struggled with learning to play the guitar and basically almost smashed my Fender a few times, but I liken it to the same.